Okay, so we're here. Let's take a look again. I'm going to zoom it up again one more time. Initial cash, we have 100,000. Initial employees is 15. We know what the monthly machine capacity for machines and people in manufacturing. We see the holding costs, the cost of buying each machine in month one, the raw materials, the hiring, firing, and monthly wages, the advertisement costs if we decide to spend money. It's $10 for every sale. And finally, our selling price is 75. So therefore, how many machines should we buy as initial guess? Well, you know, again, you know what we normally do. We should just put some number that looks reasonable. Well, we don't know, so what we do is scroll back down here, right, and look at original demand. And so maybe, let's make a suboptimal decision. We see that month 2 is the one that has the largest demand. It's 8,000. Now, on the other hand, are we going to sell 8,000? Should we manufacture 8,000, or should we manufacture more than 8,000? Because we could still have demand more than 8,000, right? If we spend money in advertisement. So you want to just say, oh, well, what's the max possible? Well, I could spend $50,000 total if I'm crazy enough to do that. I don't know if it makes sense. But if I did do that, then $10 is for each $10 I spent. So 50,000, I would get 5,000 more customers, right? 50,000 divided by 10. So the maximum possible, if I went full hog on month 2 and 8,000 forecasted plus 50,000 advertisement, I would have 13,000. So, I don't know. So 13,000. So do I want to have enough machines such I can do 13,000? Oh, maybe, I don't know. So what is it? Each machine makes 900, so how many do I have to have? Oh, well, I got to divide. I don't know. Okay, since I'm too lazy and you guys don't seem all that excited, why don't we just put a number at least? If it was not 1,000, I'll say 13 machines, right? So I'll just say 14. It's probably not right. But at least it's ballparking it, right? Because 900 would be 900 times 36,000. So that'll be 12,600, right? So it'll be a little under 13,000. Yeah. Okay. So you're the crazy guy. What are you going to do? You're the manager. What do you plan to do for the first month? So you decided, okay, first month, that's it. I made my decision. I'll buy 14 machines. Will cost that much for the rest of the 6 months. I got that capacity. Now, I got 15 people. How many people do I want to hire and fire? Let's take a look again. We got 5,000 estimated, blah, blah. You could be rational, or you can come from the Wing Chin Attila the School Hunt of Management and say, what I'm going to do immediately is to show who's boss. I'm going to hire 15 new people and fire 15 people. Okay. So that's happening in the Trump administration, right? So just hire new people. So okay, let's do that. So I go, okay, we got 15 people. I'm going to say you're all fired, and I'm going to hire 15 more people. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to turn nicer, and I'll just do 5 and 5. I'm just doing it. It shouldn't matter, right? You can put anything. Remember, your rule probably is to do what? Your rule probably is to put something simple to make sure that the calculation is working. So typically we'd put something like 1 or 2, like let's say hire 1, fire 2, and just see if the calculations are right? So when you're doing that. So again, that's kind of a strategy when you're working on the problem. I'm going to hope I actually am doing this right. Okay, so with that in mind, how many do I have available here?
0.
That would be equal to, look, I'm screwed up, didn't I? I actually didn't even do anything. So let me start up here. Thank you. Pointing out beginning workers for month 1. What is it? Well, I guess I better put an equal sign and point to where it is. So where is it? It's above somewhere. It's right there, B4. So I'll just point to B4. Okay, now I got my beginning worker is 15. Okay. And so now I can do a calculation, which is just the beginning worker plus how many new people I hire minus how many people I fire. So that's just your simple formula you can do. So I'm going to just say B19, right? Plus the people I just hired, B20, subtracting the guys I fired. Now, if I'm a real idiot, I just fire the guys I just hired, but that doesn't even make any sense at all. But I'm going to say enter. So now it's still 15. Now, over here, the beginning month for month 2 is equal to what? The ending of month 1, right? So what we started in month 2 is what we ended in month 1. And so I'm pointing to B22. Okay? Now I'm assuming that's okay because all subsequent months will be relative, so I can drag that across. And so month 3 would be C22 and so on. So I'm just going to just drag it across. It'll say 0 for now, that's okay. Now is this one okay? Can I drag this across?
No.
Yes.
Because this one says, let me move. That one says B19 plus B20. If I drag across, it'll be C. I think it's okay. I think it's just doing the respective ones above. So let's just check it out. You can always do it and see if it's adding correctly. So let's just move it around. Okay, let me see if that works. If I change this to, say, 1. Okay. Right, so I'm just kind of messing around, just making sure the numbers are adding up appropriately, and subtracting and stuff. Okay, so always it's all about the details, right? So we want to make sure we get that all right. Okay, so far we now have this decision. We know this is suboptimal. We didn't optimize it. It doesn't look that great because there's a lot of costs involved with all that hiring and firing. So we'll have to do something better later. But now we go into total worker capacity. That's easy enough because all we need to know now after all the hiring and firing is how many workers did I end up having for that month. We see the numbers, it's all on row 22. We know that therefore the capacity for month 1 is the total number. I'm going to say equal to what I see on B22, right? Which I have 15 people in month 1. I'm going to multiply that with their productive capacity, which is monthly capacity per worker is 600. So if I got 15 workers beginning of the month and they each can produce 600, I'll do 15 times 600. But when I drag across again, I don't want, I got to make it absolute. So there's 2 types. I could either press F4 to make that at totally fixed, and that's okay. I'll have to ask, and would you take points off if it's fixed, or should it just be a $ sign in front of the B?
Oh, it depends. If they need to do both $sign and
So both is reasonable, right? Okay. I was wondering, because I'm lazy, I would have just had the double dollars. But we know it doesn't matter because I'm just dragging across, so that 6 never changes. Okay? So if you're really fancy, you could just leave the $ sign off of the 6 and it'll still be correct. In fact, I'll just do that. But of course, if you just leave the $ sign, it's always pointing at that 600, which is fine. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just trying to find out from the graders what the graders do, so you make sure you don't. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and put the $ sign in front of the B, because I know when I drag, it'll still be the B. I'm not pulling down. So I'm going to press enter. So yeah, 15 times 600. Yeah, 6 times 5 is 300. 6 times 600 times 10 is 600. So you add it together, it's 9,000. So I drag that across, and there we go.